Okay, it's time for today's CSS Battle. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Right, so got a circle, couple of straight lines, and possibly a couple of cubic gradients, maybe some linear gradients. Let's have a play. Let's get rid of that and that. Just do body. Let's start by setting the background to that pink. Then let's do a radial gradient at 50% 0. We'll do the bottom one first by cutting off the top of a gradient. We'll start with transparent, and okay, how wide is the inner? So we call that 50, 350, so 300, so 150 radius, and then we want that pink for how wide is it? 30, 50, so 20 pixels, so 170 pixels. We'll also make it a circle, so 1Q, and we also want transparent after that, and now we want to shove it down, so we want to go none to the left, and what about 250 down? Too far. 220, 210. It doesn't look thick enough. Doesn't look thick enough. That looks too thick. That 190, 190 looks good, and then if we make it 100% wide and 200 pixels high and repeat X, beautiful. Do is we'll actually define that without this bit as variable. Let's call it C. Put a semicolon there. Okay, there's one of them. Now we want to do the top one, so we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that because I need to change the out on each of them. Bother. Stuff that one in, and we'll make that at 50%, 100%. Do minus 190 pixels, that will match up, make it 100% and 200 pixels and repeat X because it's slightly shorter than no repeat. We don't need that comma. Okay, that's got us, hang on, that's gone too far up, interesting, 110. 100, maybe 90. cool. Oh, that's nice, that's nice, that's nice. That lines up. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so we can then get away with just doing a linear gradient. That starts transparent for 25 pixels. Then that color for 25, 160, so 125. Well, actually, we'll just do that. We also add a 0 in, and then we got transparent for 240, and then we've got the pink again. Whoop. For 375, and then we've got transparent. Put that in, and we also want that at 90 degrees. We need to put in some extra color stops like that. That should match those. It does. Now then, how far down do we want it? Let's call that 110. So we want to move it 0 along that way, 110 pixels down, and repeat X. And we also want to make it 100% wide, and 110, 190, 80 pixels high. That looks fairly damn close to me. Let's see what that gets us. Right, that's 100%. So now let's start removing things. So we can actually get rid of that and that, and then we can actually get rid of that as well. And then we shift it in 25 pixels. We take out repeat X, and we actually use a no repeat here. Then that needs to go down by 25, so we'll make that 135. And that needs to go down by 25, so 215. And then we set its width to 25, 350. There. Okay. Get rid of some spacing. Check whether or not that's still alright. That doesn't look divisible by 4 or 3. In fact, most of these look a bit pants. That's going to be 50 VH. Let's just quickly do that. That's going to be... Oh no, not 50 VH. That should have been... Never mind. That's 50 VH. That's 50 VH. That's VW. VW. Okay, that all looks good. that, or that. Can't see any other easy wins, so let's minify it and hit submit. See what we've got. It's not a bad score, it's just not very good. So how else could we do this? We could do the outside with an element which would let us do, let's get rid of that, create one element for now, do body background of this pink, and then P, border radius 75 pixels, height is going to be over 300, so let's make it 400, high, let's temporarily give it a background so we can see what we're dealing with. Let's make it black just because it's easy, and then let's use some margins to get it into about the right place. So I reckon we're going to want about -90, and let's take it in 25. 25 is going to be too much. Take 8 off of the 25 and we should be close. 25 minus 8, 17. Looks a bit funky. Okay, move it down a little bit. So 80, 70. 72, that matches that. Maybe higher. Oh, not that high. 430. 430 looks good. Okay. Border 15 pixels solid, and this color. So let's make that 160. Make that 25. Have a look. Okay. So now we're too tall. How far out are we? Let's move it down a bit. So 62. That's close. I think our radius is slightly out. But is it? Let's make it a little taller. 360 is close. 360 is very close. 8, 7, 6, 359 isn't right either. Okay, let's leave it at 360 for now. Let's change the border radius to 165, 4, 3, 2. No. 160. No. 16. So would we have it at 175? We've got a 25 pixel border. So 175 minus 25 is 150. Let's have a look at how clear. Okay. Let's move that back up. It's not that many. Sixty-eight, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, 60, 58, 380, 39, no, 370, 3. Okay, that's fairly close. I'm still not liking quite what that's doing, but it's really not far off. I think if we keep trying this, what we're actually going to end up with is a problem. Let's just quickly have a look at what I did the other time round. 100% match, so 175 pixel radius. And what's half of 175? No. 175 plus 175 is 350 plus the bit in the middle, which is 80, so 350 plus 80 is 430. So this should be minus 50 for the border. So that should be why is that not? Why is that off by? Let's make that back to 430. No, 430 is faulty. Two, 3, 4, 5. No, that's going the wrong way. Is interesting. Let's actually do this the other way. Box sizing, border box. And then let's make that 175 because that will be the right radius. Then let's make that 430 to include everything. And then are we too high up? Let's have a look. too low, so let's make that 72 again. That will probably be fairly close. Okay, that's good enough. Now then, we need possibly one more element. Let's make it B. It's going to be 350 pixels. Height is going to be 80. Let's give it a background of that for now. We'll change that in a minute. Where is it? Okay, let's just use P plus P. Because otherwise I've got to do some messing about. We'll add in a variable for that. And for that. And then we can go undefined those. Minus 20 is not quite enough. Let's try 22. So it's going to be no, 2. Let's make that 18. Much better. 232, 242, 252. 254. Let's do a diff. 256, 256. Beautiful. Then instead of that, we do a linear gradient of that colour. 25 to 160 is 25 pixels, and then that we should be getting close. Actually, don't need that. We're going to do no movement, and then we'll make it whatever this is, minus 25, so 240 minus 25, 215. Now why has that done that? Oh, because that needs oh, we're a tiny bit short. We're about that many pixels short. That looks fairly good. Now if we take out that background from there, let's see how close that is. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Seventeen clears that up. Let's try that. be 430. This is problematic. What if we do 176, 177, 178? No. It's got to be 175. So if we make it 26, nope, that's not good. 24, also not good. This is painful. Because all of that should line up and it just isn't. So how else could we do this? We could do the radial gradients here, I suppose, rather than the border radius. Let's give it a go. Get rid of that and that. We can then get rid of that and that. Get rid of that. We do a background radial gradients of transparent for 150 pixels, and then this pink for 75 pixels. We also need a 0 card stop in there, and then we do transparent. So make that 1Q. We put it at 50%, 100%. We only repeat in the X direction. Oh, no, we want that to be here at 50%, 100%. And then we need to shift it up. So we go 0 minus 430 over 215 pixels. 210, 220. Let's have a look at where our line is actually going. That needs to go further up. 230, 40, 250 looks like it should be about right. It's not quite. 2, 3, 4, 5. 256, that looks good. And copy that radial gradient, create a second one. Put this one at 0, and then put that at 254. Let's see whether or not that passes. This might be slightly better than the previous one. Have we got anything that I can mess with? Yes. So it's going to be 50 VH. That's going to be 50 VH. Can't see any obvious. One's 175, is that divisible by 3? Nope. It's definitely not divisible by 4. So we can't do anything with that. 254 and 256 we're not going to get anywhere with. 135. 135 is good though. And 215, let's just check. 215. No. 215 I can't do anything with. Okay. Let's just check that we're still 100%. And get rid of that closing bracket. We can get rid of that semicolon. And minify, submit. Yeah, so I can't see a way of getting it any better than the 2 that I did, and this way does seem like it's going to be the better of the 2. So let's just do a quick couple of changes. 45VH. Can't do much about that or that. 7, 5. No. Can't do anything with those. Nope. I think that's about as good as we're going to get. Is there anything else that I can get rid of? Is there a way that I could? If I repeated X on this, could I get away with it? If I take that out, do repeat X. I had a feeling that was going to do that. Let's then make it narrower. So 220, maybe 215. 215 pixels looks good. Okay. So that made it a little bit shorter again. Have we got 100% match? Yes, we have. I can't see any more changes that I can make that would make it work. So we're going to call it there. Thanks for watching.